Hello, this is Joey from Blokes From Blighty. We're going to start off with something a little bit different this time. Tim, I have a lovely friend that works with me called Will. He's just released a brand new single. He's very talented, and he's given us a snippet to play at the start of the podcast. So this is a cut from Will Washington on Spotify. So if you search Will Washington, you'll get his 3 singles, and this song is called Only You.
Nobody but you. You see, oh, I can't hide anywhere, so I won't hide anywhere. Oh, you really should care if, despite all you say, that I'm safe because it's
That was Will Washington. Search him up on Spotify. Only You is his latest single.
Mona Lisa, you're an overrated piece of shit. This is Tim from Blokes From Blighty. I'm joined by my brother, Joey Fitz.
Hello, Tim. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm Joey Fitzgerald. I'm joined as ever by the overrated Tim Fitzgerald.
I'm a piece of shit and no better than a pile of bricks.
How's your week been, Tim?
Yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. What about you?
It's been long. It's been so long. It's only Wednesday, my dude.
Oh, you've already spoiled a section.
No, well, I haven't, because today we're recording on his Wednesday.
Oh, right.
I'm not sure when this goes out. We'll work that out in a little bit.
Okay. Oh, I'm tired. Long day at work.
And we're recording an hour later than we usually do.
Yeah, we are.
So sleepy
boy hours.
Sleepy Timbles. Tim, we always start the podcast in the same way, so let's get on and crack on with our question of the week.
It's question of the week. Not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
Joey, what's the longest month?
Ooh, is it December?
It's not December.
Is it
I'm going to give you
January?
3 guesses. In fact,
Is
I
it
want the
what-
longest month and why.
Well, it'll be something to do with the fact that a year isn't 365 days. It's 365.2 or something like that.
Okay.
It's to do with the leap year, but I don't know which month it falls into. Is it March?
It's not March. I'll give you one more.
The reason's right, though, isn't it?
You're along the right lines.
Is it September?
Not September. We'll come back to it at the end of the episode.
But we know the answer. Just do this and do another one. Tell us and do another one.
Fine. Okay. It is October. So,
Damn it.
while it has 31 days, like a lot of the extended months, clocks also go back an hour, making it, strictly speaking, 31 days and an hour.
God damn it.
Good reason, though. All right, a different pub quiz question. France shares its longest land border with what other country?
España?
España? It's not España.
Is it
Their tummies are not
Germany?
full of paella.
Full of Pagea.
Paella.
Not Germany, is it?
It's not Germany, but again, we'll come back to it at
yeah,
the
let's
end
go
of
to
the
it,
episode.
Right. Well, there you go. Tim, like I said already, we are recording this a little bit later on our usual Wednesday slot. But the episode that we're doing today, so we're recording on the 13th, and this is going to come out in, I think, 7 days' time.
That sounds right.
That's the 20th, right?
Yeah.
What day of the week is that?
I'm a spitball here. A Thursday?
I don't think it is.
No?
No, I
Tuesday.
think it might be a Wednesday.
Oh.
Tim and Joey talking loud. Holidays that make them proud. Calendar check every week. We're Day holds the key. Valentine's is on a pivot. Christmas Eve sometimes hits it. New Year's Eve can be found smiling on a Wednesday round. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Time to shake the mood. Celebrate whatever's there. Make the middle week a fair.
Tim, it is Wednesday, my dude. So I have got for you a few days. I think I know which is going to win.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to go through National Education Support Professionals Day,
Sure, that is important.
National Child's Day.
Nah. They get enough days.
And they do. National Peanut Butter Fudge Day.
Nah. I
here
hate
is-
peanut butter.
Me too. Here is your final one, National Absurdity Day.
That.
Just a day to be absurd.
Just be weird. Be weird. Say weird things. Show me weird stuff.
How do you want people to celebrate National Absurdity Day?
I want people to send me their weirdest YouTube video that they know. One they just kind of keep in the back pocket. Not like, oh, isn't this quirky and funny? I want like the weird shit.
Tim, I was listening to a podcast where one of the hosts went to the National Cat Awards,
I'm interested.
and there's three hosts on this podcast. I won't name the podcast. It's not an indie one. They don't need our support. But there's three hosts. One of them went to the National Cat Awards. The other two were trying to guess what qualifies a cat for a National Cat Awards.
All right.
So it was things like there was a cat there that was it won an award of Cat of the Year because it was friends to women in a safety hostel. So if this lady's been abused by their partner, victim of domestic abuse, they go there and this cat is there as a friend.
Makes
and
sense.
It won an award.
Sure. It's like
Does
a
that
comfort
make
animal.
sense for an
Yeah.
award?
I mean, it's a comfort animal.
What is the cat doing, really?
I mean, it's doing what the cat does and just kind of sitting there, but it is a comfort animal.
But what any cat would do that.
So this isn't me ragging on emotional support animals at all, but I want to know where the line is drawn.
I would love to get Pepsi, my dog, a little emotional support animal thing, because it means I wouldn't have to tie her up outside the shops when I go in.
But what, like, if I go on a plane with a horse and just like put a little vest on him, is he now an emotional support horse?
Well, you would be cruel to the horse because a little vest wouldn't fit it.
Well, okay, I think
You'd
there's
give it-
more than
you'd
one
give it
reason I'd be
body-
cruel to the
body
horse. But
image.
and again, this isn't me trying to sound like I'm ragging on emotional support animals, but what I'm trying to understand is where the line is drawn.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand the need for emotional support animals.
Sure,
I think,
absolutely.
and they really do good work. But my point about this cat is, it's a great thing that it's there. It's a great thing that it brings joy to people. The cat itself is doing nothing.
Just sat there doing its
Once
thing.
again, can I keep that in?
Sure.
Is that a shitty thing for me to say?
No, it's fine.
No? Okay. Another one of the cats at the awards, they said it was really emotional because the cat actually was hit by a car and died between being nominated and winning the award.
Does the cat awards have that thing in the Oscars where it's like, for those that we lost this year?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. But do you know who one of the head judges was? The one who decided who the final cat of the year was? Former England goalkeeper David Seaman.
What's he doing there? Is he all right?
But he wasn't there apparently. He went on a video screen.
Oh. So he did a cat awards via Zoom.
Yeah, basically.
What a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know there is no defending it. It's bloody strange, but I just
that's what you're coming into Absurd Day with.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Can I just say, I think cats as animals are like good. I think they're great animals. I think they're great pets. They're nice companions. I think people who obsess over cats freak me out a little bit.
Weird.
It's this whole thing. Like, I've made my feelings on cat cafes very clear. You just don't get it.
Sure.
Just don't understand, Tim. And that's okay. I don't need to understand everything, but making it very clear now, I don't get it.
He's making his thoughts known. Right meow.
Well done. Well, they made a joke about what the different categories were. Can I tell
That's
you
great.
a really good joke I made today?
Oh yeah.
So I was at work today, and someone messaged me, one of the guys I manage, and they said, "Oh, I've booked a holiday next year to Peru, to Machu Picchu in Peru, but the HR policy is I need to get prior approval from my manager before I book more than 2 weeks off." And he wanted 2 weeks and a day, and I
Right.
said, "Don't worry about it. I will Peru this now."
That's really good. That's really good.
Is it really good?
I like that a lot.
Is it really good, or was it just there?
Well, no, I enjoy it, but I love a terrible pun.
Yummy, low-hanging, juicy fruit. Tim, speaking of hilarious puns, let's get right into jokes.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
That was beautiful. I like that
Thank
you
you.
warmed up first as well.
I did. I had to set myself up for it.
So welcome, listener, to our Joke of the Week section, where Tim and I will tell each other a hilarious quip with the sole intention of making the other chortle. If a chuckle leaves your lips, then the Joke of the Week section is over, and that joke is deemed our hilarious quip of the week. Tim, how many jokes do you have?
Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I also have 8. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. Did you know that in the UK, when you turn 100 years old, you get a letter from the king? And when you turn 14, you get a text from Prince Andrew.
Very good. Think our lovely American listeners will understand that one?
I'm sure some will.
Member of the royal family? Definitely not a paedophile.
Definitely not.
Definitely nothing to do with Epstein.
No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. He was at Pizza Express the whole time in Worthing.
He was, yeah. Pizza Express in Worthing and not sweating.
No.
He made that very clear, and we believe everything he says.
Yep.
They definitely didn't take £10,000 worth of taxpayers' money to pay off a family.
Correct.
Yep, definitely.
No way that's happened.
Tim, knock.
Who's there?
Howard.
Howard who?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
That was the joke, Tim.
Oh, I see.
Howard, you. Good.
Oh.
Howard, you.
I get it.
Okay, your turn.
A woman comes in from a golf course and tells an employee, I just got stung by a bee. And the employee says, where? And she goes, between the first and the second hole. And the employee says, well, your stance is too wide.
We've had that joke before.
Have we?
We have.
No.
Knock.
Who's there?
Hammond.
Hammond?
Yep.
Hammond who?
Ham and cheese is my favourite sandwich filling.
That's a good one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
Fine enough, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Did you know that pigeons die when they have sex?
No, I didn't.
Well, the one I fucked did.
Very good.
Yep.
Very good. Shouldn't be doing that, though.
No, probably shouldn't.
Famously quite dirty animal.
You can get a sexually transmitted dove.
Yeah, definitely. Knock.
Who's there?
Dozer.
Dozer who?
Those are a great set of tits you've got, Tim.
Thank you. Grew them myself.
I really thought that one would get you. After the
Nearly.
2 really tame knock ones, I thought it'd be a little curveball.
What's got 5 toes and isn't your foot?
5 toes and isn't your foot your other foot?
No, it's my foot.
Oh, fair enough. What disease do you get from having sex in the ocean?
Crabs.
Mermaids.
That's really good. That nearly got me.
That doesn't count because I'm laughing at my own joke.
That nearly got me.
Good.
I'm slowly getting over my addiction of bestiality with wolves. I'm down to a pack a day.
Okay, cool, good. I'm glad that you're getting over it. That's really
Yeah, me
important.
too.
I mean, there's quite a lot of bestiality jokes here, Tim. I'm getting a bit worried about you. My wife said pencils can be as sharp as a knife, so why are they allowed on planes? And I said, it's just how it has to be. They had to draw the line somewhere.
It was better with the first one.
Well, the thing was, The first one didn't get you. The second one definitely wouldn't. So I threw it in there anyway. So there's
It's a two-hitter.
How that fucking one joke of the week, I'll never know. But here's the jingle.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
What did you say during that jingle? I didn't.
Oh,
hear you
I'm
say
sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound like I was just nutting into the mic. I was just stretching.
it. Tim, I have
Oh,
3
yeah.
jokes on my list that I haven't told, and they've been on there for
A
weeks.
good
now.
while.
Weeks and weeks and weeks. So our joke of the week is my wife said that pencils can be as sharp as knives, so why are they allowed on planes? And I said, it's just how it has to be. They have to draw the line somewhere.
Good.
Do you regret laughing at that one?
No, I like that. I like a dumb pun.
Well, that certainly was a dumb pun. Tim, you've put a news article in our running order. Now, I saw this, but I think it really is mental enough for you to tell us all about it.
Is this the comeback of damn, that's crazy?
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Oregon ambulance struck cyclist and then billed him $1,800 for the hospital ride.
Insane.
Can you fucking imagine? I've just read he's 71 years old.
I saw that.
That's awful. I'm not going to read the article verbatim, but apparently he's suing the hospital for $997,000.
Yep, sounds about right.
That sounds about right. I mean, American ambulance policies are mental to begin with. One of the last times I was in the States, one of the people that we were hanging out with got into an accident, and I suggested calling an
Got
ambulance.
into an accident is a funny way of saying broke both of their arms falling off a Segway.
Yeah, pretty much. It's an accident. And I suggested we call an ambulance. And they said, don't call an ambulance. It's about $3,000 a go.
So what did you just had to like walk with?
No.
arms
So
falling
where we were
off?
staying was relatively near the Union, and a med student happened to be driving by.
So you just got in a car with a who?
Med student.
Just a guy.
Yeah,
Did he show you his credentials?
he showed me something.
It's just went, here's my penis. Would you like a lift to
Here's my
hospital?
PhD, and I'm a student.
That's fucking insane.
It
It's
is mad.
so crazy. Tim, how much does it cost if I broke both my arms falling off of my Heelys here to get an ambulance to hospital?
Somewhere to the tune of nothing.
Mm. And then how much would it be for the doctors to have a look at said mushy flesh sacks that were my arms?
Nothing again.
Aftercare costs?
Hang on, let me work this out.
Let's put some quick sums together.
Nothing.
How much did your friend have to pay in total for all of that?
$78,000.
I shouldn't laugh because it's such a fucking mess.
Fucking awful.
It's crazy. The capitalism is unreal.
Mm-hmm. By the way, when they tried to negotiate a rate with the hospital, being like, "Hey, how do I want to pay this?" The minimum plan they wanted was $2,000 a month, and then when they said, "I can't possibly pay that," they basically just said it would end up going to credit. Oh,
That's insane.
Yep, that's the American healthcare system. It's a nightmare land.
Did you see the thing years ago now where John Oliver bought loads and loads and loads of medical debt and wiped it off on his show, and it technically became the biggest charitable donation ever because the medical bill equated to something like $100 million worth of medical bills.
That's ridiculous.
But because he bought it as bad debt from the hospital, I think they paid less than $100,000 for it.
Wow.
I know. It's crazy.
Did I ever tell you about when living in the States, I thought I was having a wisdom tooth come through?
Okay.
And so I called up what I thought was my insurance provider and was like,
It was just
hi,
a guy. Hey there, Tim.
hey, forget about it.
You
Josh,
rat bastard.
you rat bastard. I called up and was like, hi, I'm just well, I say visiting. I'm working in Texas. I think I'm having a wisdom tooth throw. I just want to check if it's covered on my policy. And the guy was like, oh no, sorry, you called like a bath appliance store in New York. I was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. And that should have been the end of it if I didn't get several calls for about 3 weeks of them mocking my wisdom teeth coming through. They're
What
like,
were they
how's your
saying?
teeth? I was like, leave me alone. Fuck off.
You just got bullied by a store in New York.
Yeah,
Oh, that's dreadful. I'm so sorry, Tim.
that's fine. That was the same week that someone called me a fucking redcoat and then walked out of a restaurant because I was in it.
What's it like to feel prejudice?
As someone who has experienced it myself, that's an awful thing to joke about.
Well, it is, but that is technically prejudice.
Technically, yeah. I mean, the guy, his exact words were, "You're not from around here, are you?" And I went, "No." And he said, "Where are you from?" And I went, "England." And then he called me a fucking redcoat and walked out.
Was it Elijah Wood?
It was not Elijah Wood.
You did live quite close to Elijah Wood.
I did live close to Elijah Wood. I saw him a few times.
There you go.
Yeah.
You go. The ring, Frodo.
Mr. Frodo. I
Can you
once
imagine?
saw a wizard do a flip.
Someone lives near Elijah Wood, and every time they see him, they go, Mr. Frodo.
Oh, Mr. Frodo. He's a very nice man, Elijah Wood.
Good. I was talking to someone about him appearing at Comic-Con, and he was charging something like $250 for a photo with him, which is like looking at recent Comic-Con prices for someone of his fame actually isn't that much. But I was saying that you have a photo with him that you got for nada.
For nada. Because he was
Elijah
presenting
Wood
an award.
He's the NHS of the photo game.
Of celebrities.
Yeah. Well,
No,
there you go.
Presenting an award that a film that I was a boom operator on was up for.
Oh,
So we got to
Was
hang
it
out with him for a bit.
softcore comedy porn? Or
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Was it Elijah Gives Me Wood?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad that you're over, like, not wanting to talk about it.
It was called Lord of the Rings.
Tim,
Yeah.
do you want to do Weird History or do you want to do Movie Club first?
Dealer's choice.
Let's do history.
History.
Oh, history.
Oh, history. Joey,
Tim,
1820s France.
I hate it already.
Already. I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but it's not going to become important soon.
He's going to die, isn't he?
Jules Bouglé
Bublé.
Came from a family of woodcutters. And
Okay.
they were lower middle class in a time where class was very like deterministic of your. I meant to write social status, but my phone's autocorrected it to suicidal status.
Well, both,
So-
yeah.
It determined your social status, like who you could marry, your job prospects, and even if you could like go to school.
Right.
So very, very important. Now, Jules met and fell in love with a woman called Margaret Laron,
Okay.
the daughter of a wealthy leather merchant. Jules asked the father for the daughter's hand in marriage, and Margaret's father was like, fuck no. So
Okay. Oh, fair enough.
mostly due to the class difference. But Jules and Margaret didn't give up. They regularly met with the father and were basically begging for the father's approval. And eventually it was determined that Jules would work in the leather business. All he needed to do was to figure out the trade and be successful in it, and then he could marry Margaret.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Jules worked hard. He quickly took a taking to the business, and he was given additional responsibilities with Margaret's father's business. One of his responsibilities was to buy leather to work on, and in 1855, he made a very large purchase.
Okay.
2 or 3 days later, the price of leather plummeted to 40% of its value.
Oh, that's so sad.
Now, this is due to a massive change in the tanning process. Process?
It's a change in the tanning process.
Planning process. Before, leather would have been tanned with tree bark, but the tanning industry had discovered a chemical compound that not only made it cheaper, but also easier to work with, requiring less manpower. Thus, the whole process could be a little more centralized, bringing the cost down.
Okay.
So, because Jules hadn't paid attention to the changes in the industry, he was left with a pile of leather that he could only sell at a loss.
Oh.
Really unfortunate. Now, as a result of this, the plans for marriage were off, and Jules was crushed, and he was too depressed to go back to his own family. So he started wandering around Lyon, France for like 2 years. Right?
Okay.
One day, Jules disappeared from France, and he wasn't seen again for a number of years until 1862.
What? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
A man fitting Jules' description showed up in Harwington, Connecticut.
Okay.
He was wearing a crudely stitched together outfit made entirely of leather.
Cool.
And became known as the Leatherman to anyone who encountered him.
Is this the origin story of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
You would think it. Now, upon arriving, Jules began doing a 10-mile per day trek between Connecticut and the Hudson River.
10 miles a day?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Now, I'm not going to go through the entire list of towns that he went through, but Connecticut, he stayed in places like Waterbury, Thomastown, Plymouth, New Haven, Middletown, Cheshire, Southington, Bristol, Simsbury, Canton, Avon. And then when he reached New York, he was in Yorktown, Somers, North Salem, Brewster, Bedford, Pleasantville, White Plains, Port Chester, like all sorts of places. And when he was done with that route, he would walk back and start the loop over again.
Right.
He would do 365 miles in a month.
Why?
Just because that's what he did. He just walked.
Okay.
Now, people along the route would give him handouts and offer
in leather.
in leather. He's in full leather. Now, people would give him handouts and offer to let him sleep in their shed or the barn, but Leatherman always chose to either sleep outside or in one of the caves that he knew along his route.
Yeah, okay, I get
Makes
that.
sense. People wanted to know more about Leatherman, but he only spoke in grunts, broken French, and gestures. It was noted that he mostly communicated through what was described as crude pantomime.
Okay, cool.
Wandering vagrants were... Oh, sorry, I should note here. His leather suit made him look, quote, inhumanly large.
Okay, cool. I like it.
He was also extremely shy, skittish, and wouldn't look people in the eyes.
That's quite sad.
It's quite sad. Now, wandering vagrants weren't uncommon during this era of America, and it resulted in papers in the 1870s seriously suggesting the idea to deal with the tramp problem by giving them poisoned food, killing them, or taking them out of town and shooting them.
Jesus Christ.
So their options are murder them, kill them, or kill them.
Good spectrum of choices.
Yeah. What made Leatherman really unique in his vagrancy is how precise he was with his daily routines. People would report that he would show up to selected homes on his routes repeatedly, arriving at the exact same time as he did the month prior. So if he showed up at your house like on Wednesday the 2nd at 4 p.m., he would be there the next month at 4 p.m.
Okay, cool. Man of routine. I like
Absolutely. In 1884, the Hartford Globe published an article about his compulsive punctuality, noting his route. And after this, he became something of a celebrity. Other newspapers reported that if you fed him and he liked the food, he would come back 34 days looking for the same food, unless something frightened him away.
Is he a moose?
I think he's more of a house cat.
Okay, cool.
He was not known to bathe regularly.
I mean, and he's spending all day in a leather outfit.
Yeah, and he would wear the same leather outfit for years at a time. Now, the way Leatherman would ask for food, he would go up to people's doors and hit the door with a stick.
Yeah, okay.
He would point at his mouth, making a grunting sound to indicate that he was hungry. It got to the point that people not only had entire meals ready when he arrived, but also set up outdoor tables for him to eat at. no matter what weather he ate outside.
That's quite sweet.
Yeah, like a bird table, but for a man dressed entirely in leather.
A very smelly, enormous man dressed entirely in leather.
Now, due to his fame, merchants began using photos and his likeness of the Leatherman to sell their products. One woman gave him shoes to wear. He cut them up and returned the soles, grunted his thanks, and wandered off, keeping the leather.
So he acquired more leather.
He acquired more leather. The Leatherman's... This is a line that I wrote while I was on my lunch at work today. The Leatherman's leather pouch had a leather-bound French prayer book. Dated 1847. People assumed he was a Catholic because he refused to eat meat on Fridays.
Okay, cool.
Sure. Some people crossed the Leatherman at the Quiet Inn in Connecticut. I don't have town, but just in Connecticut. A camera was placed behind a sheet and dropped while he ate, capturing a photo of the Leatherman. This is the last time the Leatherman stayed at that inn.
One day, changed his routine.
He did change his routine for that. One day, while in Branford, Connecticut, he stopped at a Harding's grocery store and ate the following in one sitting: a loaf of bread, a pound of milk crackers, a can of sardines, a quarter of a pie, 2 quarts of coffee, a gill of brandy, and a bottle of beer.
Okay, cool.
When he was done, he went down the road for half a mile to the Chisney house and ate his usual 2-course meal.
Standard, yeah. Okay, cool.
The guy's a monster. Now, the suit made him look inhumanly large, and he's eaten that kind of meal just on the regs, it seems.
Yeah.
How big do you think the Leatherman is?
4 foot tall.
He's 5'7" and weighed 160 pounds.
But he is still abnormally large.
Yeah, because of his leather.
I like
now,
it.
People tried to get secrets out of the Leatherman to get details of his past, and they would try and get him drunk in order to do this, but then he would not return to that town.
Okay.
In New Haven, the townsfolk decided that he would tell everything if he was absolutely shit-faced. So, they held him down and poured alcohol down his throat.
This sounds mean.
That's really mean. He didn't come back. In the town of Forestville, he was thrown into a horse trough. He didn't come back.
Poor Leatherman. How long was he doing this for?
Several years, because at this point we're now in 1887.
Okay. When did we start doing Leatherman?
So he was spotted in Connecticut in 1862.
Oh my God. Okay. Cool.
People became concerned with Leatherman in 1887 when they found a raw sore on his lip. Local newspapers also reported the story detailing his condition, because someone's sore on their lip is just newsworthy at this point.
Yeah.
In winter, the skin on his hands and face and chest were very frostbitten, but he still refused help. He was arrested in Middletown, Connecticut by the Humane Society so that the sore on his mouth could be treated.
Okay.
The examination unfortunately proved the sore to be cancerous, but within the hour, the Leatherman had escaped and was back on the road.
Wow. Well, they know where to find him because he just follows the same route.
People were amazed to find that Leatherman had survived the Great Blizzard of 1888.
Jesus Christ.
This is a storm that was so bad that entire cities were shut down and people had died, and the biggest snowstorm of the century had slowed him down on his route by 4 days.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Now, December 9th, 1888, he came to the home of James Bernard. He was cold and he was wet and he was hungry. So Bernard took him to the fire, and Bernard noted that the half of his lower lip had just been completely eaten away. He gave him coffee, milk, cake, and pie. He drank 6 bowls of coffee and then put a piece of leather over his lip so that he could eat.
Oh, God. Give up with the leather man.
He was grateful and declined the offers of tobacco, and when he'd eaten enough, he got up and left. On March 5th, Henry Miller brought his partner to the cave that he knew Leatherman would stay at when he was in town to show her the cave, and when they got there, they found the body of Leatherman. The coroner had reported it was cancer, and his death made it to the front page of papers. Interestingly, though, he wasn't buried in his leather outfit. He was buried.
Sad.
He was buried in an iron pipe. Not really sure why.
Just in an iron pipe.
In an iron pipe. Now we're going to jump forward to 1953.
Okay.
where someone had donated a second-hand headstone where they had hand-carved Jules Bourglaise on it, and the original inscription of whoever owned the headstone had just been rubbed out and put on the back of the headstone.
Okay, fair enough. That's
Definitely wasn't stolen.
nice economic process.
The Globe Museum bought the leather outfit. First of all, who was selling it?
It's not been washed in years.
The suit weighed approximately 60 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Now, keep in mind, he was 160 pounds.
Yeah.
That's like nearly over a third of his weight.
Wowzers.
So, where is it? Shoes they had were made of thick wooden soles with leather nailed to it. When the Globe Museum got this outfit, they dressed a man in it who would run through the crowd shouting, "I'm hungry, get me a child to eat."
Jesus Christ.
Protests caused the live show to stop, and the suit has since disappeared. Although the Leatherman still turns up in family photos that are handed down through the generations in the Upper East Side of America.
I don't like it.
No, that's the Leatherman.
It's quite scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you help the Leatherman?
Yeah, I would help the Leatherman. I always feel a bit sorry for the people you talk about in Weird History, but you can't. Weird History can't cover someone who's like, in 1765, James Smith was fine.
He was all right.
He had a good time.
Yeah.
So I understand why you do that, but like, still think every now and then about Oofty Goofty and get a bit sad. But Leatherman, at least people seem to like Leatherman, apart from the ones who tried to tie him down and fill him with alcohol.
Or threw him in a horse trough.
Or threw him in a horse trough, or buried him in an iron pipe.
Yeah.
What's
your favourite part of the story?
None of it.
I like the fact that he turned up in a crudely stitched together leather outfit some 20 years later.
That's really sad.
But like, that must have been really hard for him.
I imagine he had a few of these leather outfits as well.
I don't know. He would wear the same one for the thing I read said that he wore the same outfit for decades, but he only seemed to wander around for like 2 or 3.
Well,
still 365 miles in a month on foot.
A good advert for the leather he's selling as well.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe an elaborate marketing scheme. Tim,
a
couple of things left to talk about. So let's talk about. Well, I've put in the chat download lineup. Have you seen the download lineup that's been announced?
I'm just looking at it now.
2025. What do you think?
I know one song of Sleep Token. I haven't thought about Korn in years.
Okay, and the other headliner is Green Day.
We've then got on the next stage Weezer, Bullet for My Valentine, Jimmy Eat World, Don Bronco, Spirit Box. Sex Pistols are back. Interesting.
Well, I mean, it will be one of the Sex Pistols still making a living using their name.
Are they not doing the Weekend at Bernie's thing with Sid Vicious?
No, they're not.
No?
It's got Frank Carter playing with them, so
that'd be interesting. Darkness, Steel Panther, McFly's an interesting pick.
Yeah.
This all seems like a really good lineup. Are you planning on going?
No, absolutely not. Festivals. I'm so offended by the prices of gigs and festivals that I don't know if I'll ever go to one again, Tim.
No.
But Don Broco, who you said Don Bronco, are
That's
really good.
Oh, Don Broco.
Don Broco, very good. Weezer, I would like to see. But the others, I mean, Green Day are a bit of a name. They're not my favourite band in the world, but apparently they put on a good show. You've seen them before, right?
I saw them live. Yeah, I saw them on the what was the tour? It was a 21st Century Breakdown tour with Joan Jett and the Blackhearts and Frank Turner supporting.
Nice.
It was good.
Yeah, I've heard they put on a hell of a show. Sleep Token, once again, I've never listened to.
I know one song of theirs.
People really go mad. I think it's just him.
Is it just the one dude? I thought it was the band.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I'd be guessing, but that's what I think. Korn, I would say again. I don't know if their headliners at Download good though.
No.
But yeah,
it's cool to see Bullet for My Valentine still going.
Well, Bullet played when I went to Download in 2013.
I've just seen Alien Ant Farmer playing.
And CKY. Tim, how many songs does CKY have?
They have a few, and I've seen them live. I think
1,
2 or 3 I know at most. But I saw them in 2010 and they were pretty good, but we're now talking like some 24, 25 years later. No,
Tim,
15.
Tim, come on.
What?
It was 2010 from now. How can you not work that out?
I've been thinking about leather too much.
The leather's got to his brain. So yeah, Download's an interesting one. For me, I think it's a pretty middling lineup. It's okay.
So I've only been to a couple of festival things.
Mm,
One big one, which was Sonosphere 2010,
mhm.
and I tried to see some big headline acts I was interested in, of course, but also some of the smaller acts. And I'm looking at some of the smaller acts, and there's only like one or two that I would maybe go and see here.
Really. I mean, I was talking about this with people I work with today. I am so out of the loop with music. If it wasn't released when I was 15, I don't know it.
Like I'm seeing Dead Poet Society, and I've heard of them, but I don't know any of their songs.
Don't know it.
Airborne, they have 2 songs that I know.
Heard of Airborne.
They do Too Much Too Young Too Fast.
You had one of their albums.
I did have one of their albums, and I can't remember most of the album.
So I thought you were talking about the smallest stage. You're actually talking about the middle. So I know Airborne, Alien Antform, Bleed From Within, Boston Manor, CKY, Eagles of Death Metal, Ghost Inside, Ginger, Mallory Knox, Meshuggah, The North Lane, Poppy, Whitechapel. I know all of those bands. They've been going for years and years and years and years and years, but I don't know if I like any of them enough to say I'd go and see them.
The one next to Cradle of Filth.
Yeah, I know
I
who
can't
that is.
read that logo.
Would you like me to tell you their name?
Go on.
Lorna Shore.
Oh,
So Lorna Shore. Have you ever heard them?
no.
Let me find a video of Lorna Shore. I'd be really interested to hear what you think of their music. So Lorna Shore are fronted by a guy called Will Ramos.
No, I've heard of Will Ramos.
I'm going to put it in our chat here. Oh shit! Ignore that, Tim. Ignore that. I've sent you a link to my Google search of Lorna Shore because I am, in fact, very fucking old. Here is. Oh my god! Why can't I get rid of this text? There you go. There you go. So this is a song called "To the Hellfire." I would just skip sort of like 30 seconds in.
I could see a man scream singing, but I'm not hearing any words.
Now skip to 5 minutes 15 in. It's got an excellent breakdown, this song, but I couldn't tell you what a single lyric is.
Damn, that guitar really is beyond drop D.
Yes, that's drop D.
Yeah, it's drop double D, drop T's nuts.
Yeah,
not a fan personally.
No.
No.
Have you ever heard of a band called Slaughter to Prevail?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the thing that the lead singer does when he has no microphone?
No.
I'm going to send this to you. So he's another one who is a screamer. Like his voice is guttural, but he does this thing at gigs. His scream is so loud, he does a song without the microphone. And then it zooms out. You can see how far back the person recording is.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's impressive, but it's got to be horrific for the vocal cords.
Yeah, he also wallops himself with the microphone until he bleeds most shows.
Why?
I'm
really, really sure the audio engineers at the tour with them are really happy with him.
I mean, I think they know what to expect by now. Slaughter to Prevail, once again, they're a bit heavy for me. They're not my favourite band in the world. But Alex Terrible, he is a Russian guy. He lives in Florida now. And he's just apparently an absolutely lovely, chilled out guy.
You find a lot of metalheads are, though.
Yeah, you do.
Although, do you remember that one thing with Cannibal Corpse where the guitarist or the bassist was arrested? Because they found several firearms in his house and a lot of human skulls. And about 4 or 5 months before, Cannibal Corpse put out an album with a song called "I Have Skulls in My House."
No, I didn't know that. That's
it's amazing.
Wow, that is amazing. There is another band that I think is really interesting at the moment called As I Lay Dying, who you've probably heard of.
Yeah.
So As I Lay Dying are kind of, for the listener, they are one of the kind of flag bearers for the metalcore genre. They're actually quite good, but Tim Lambesis is the lead singer, and something's going on with them at the moment. So Tim Lambesis went away years ago, got put in prison for putting out a hit on his wife.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he got found out she lived. They came out, but obviously some of the old bandmates were a bit pissed off. So most of them left,
Naturally.
except for the drummer and I think the bassist. So they got two guitarists in from other bands to form As I Lay Dying, and they're about to go on a European tour. And all of a sudden, the two guitarists, the bassist, and the drummer all put out statements that they're leaving the band. And they've been really ambiguous as to why. But one of them said something about it's being in the band has led me to question my judge of character and moral compass. I
What
do
is
not believe
happening?
it's I do not believe it's ethical to continue in that sphere of music and profession. And it's just we're getting drip fed what's actually happened. It's yeah, and their tour manager did the same as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those things that
Don't take
I
a hit out on your wife, everyone.
Well, I mean, if you learn anything from this episode of Two Blokes from Blighty, don't let it be that Alex the Terrible has a lovely vocals or that Leatherman existed. Let it be. Don't take a hit out on your spouse.
Yeah. Didn't think we had to write that one down for everyone, but here we are.
Here we are. So, Tim,
Yeah.
I've done a stupid and closed our running order. What else have we got on there?
We got Twitch affiliate.
Oh yeah, we became Twitch affiliate. That's
Yep.
fun.
So if you want to subscribe to our Twitch, you use your Amazon Prime to get a free sub. Thanks, not Subway.
Yeah.
I mean subscription.
Don't spend your real money
No.
on us. Just use Jeff Bezos' money to
Use those
to
Bezos
subscribe.
books.
You can join what our subscribers are called the Rat Gang.
Mm-hmm.
You can send funny rat emotes on Twitch when you do that. That'd be good. But yeah, it's good fun. It's quite exciting. But yeah, that'd be really lovely. If you want to do that, we'd be very happy for you to use your Prime subscription on us.
Tune in for Baldur's Gate streams a lot of the time. Also, Joey does some single player stuff like Silent Hill.
Do although I
I'd
have
like
to
to
say,
do-
Tim, I did Silent Hill. I will finish it, but what I do with all of our streams, I upload them in full to YouTube, and I forgot to do it with the second play episode of Silent Hill, so there might just be a big gap in our YouTube. I might not upload the rest of it. So yeah,
We'll see.
Whoopsie. What would you like to do, Tim?
Probably some fighting game shit.
Fighting game shit. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'd also like to do research streams for the games that we're playing that are coming up on the pod.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd also like to do some classic games.
That'd be cool.
So if you want us to play a certain game on stream, let us know in our Discord. That'd be really good. And Alex isn't here, but he will have to play it too. So if you want him to play a shit game, let us know.
Or if you
And
want us
we'll
to play
make him do
Baldur's
it.
Gate forever, sure.
Well, it'll run out eventually.
But we could just start a new game.
Yeah. Have you seen all the mods that you can get for Baldur's Gate that extend the story by like 90 hours?
I've seen Wither's Big Naturals mod.
Yeah. Let's not talk about Withers and his big skeleton tits. So yeah, that was good. So yeah, jump along. It's twitch.tv/gameclubpod. Tim, I think we can do movies and then get the fuck out of here.
I think so too.
Oh, Tim, can you give us our movies jingle, please?
Movies.
I like two things about that. One, you add an extra note in there for no reason at the end.
It makes sense to me.
Two, each time I ask you to do it, it comes with less and less enthusiasm.
Soon it's just going to be just singular notes.
Nah.
And it's,
It'll be like
movies.
it's on vibrate. Right, Tim, we watched Top Gun Maverick. You have 7 seconds to explain the plot. Go.
Member Berries, the movie. Tom Cruise is called back to Top Gun to teach pilots to fly.
Very good. What did you think of it?
it was trying really hard to be cool. Like,
Okay.
I have this theory about Tom Cruise films that he's never made a bad movie.
Vanilla Sky begs to
Now,
differ.
hold on. He's made average movies. He's never made
Vanilla
a
Sky
bad
is a
movie.
bad movie.
Well, what's the IMDb rating on Vanilla Sky?
Don't know, but we've had this conversation. But I have watched Vanilla Sky, and I can tell you it is a bad movie.
It's average.
People rag on Cocktail for being bad, but I think that's the definition of an average movie.
Yeah, it's very average.
Mm.
So I had 2 or 3 big problems with this movie that really sucked me out of not getting into it.
Hmm.
One, this film just seemed to do a lot of, hey, remember when we did this in Top Gun? Wasn't that cool? Remember this?
Right.
Remember this?
So I think there's something that's maybe missed on you here, Tim.
I know it's a
this-
sequel.
This movie was meant to be just fun.
It was
It's not
fun.
meant
I
to
will
be
give it that it
taken
was fun.
seriously. It's
No,
just,
I know.
It's just Top Gun. It's Top Gun came out 30 years after Top Gun.
I know, but it's just one of these things that just didn't need to be made, in my opinion.
It didn't need to be made, but it was stupid and fun. And his name was Maverick, and they were like, oh, "Why is he such a maverick all the time?" It's like it's
Yeah.
literally his fucking name.
Two,
I also had a question for you about it. I texted you yesterday saying, "Have you watched the movie for Two Blokes yet?"
yeah,
And at this point, I was about 10 minutes into the film.
I'd watched it the day before, I think.
You said you watched
Oh, no,
it
watching it that night, sorry. Yeah.
So at the start, when Tom Cruise is in his hangar and he's fixing up the plane and he goes to his locker thing and it's covered in the photos of Goose,
Yeah.
it didn't look like a memory of a friend. It looked like he wanted to be his lover.
Yeah, definitely wanted to bang him. 100%.
But we spoke really briefly in the last episode about the homoerotic undertones of Top Gun, the first one.
Hmm.
Do you think Tom Cruise knew that was the case? Because this really just looked like he wanted to be in love and be with Goose rather than
Goose.
just to be his mate.
Yeah. It's like Top Gun 1 is like super homoerotic.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of the central themes of the whole movie, and very much intentionally so. This whole film, having watched Top Gun 1, really had this whole stank of Tom Cruise wanting to go up to Rooster, who is Goose's son, and being like, "Yo, I want to bang your dead dad."
Yeah, okay.
I
think that's fair. I do. So I watched this, and when it got announced, I was like, "Oh, they don't need to make this." I'll watch it because I really like Top Gun 1, but they don't need to have this as a thing. But when I watched it, and the first sequence was loads of fighter jets going off an aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean to Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone and people fist bumping and punching the air like, hell yeah, this is cool. I thought, do you know what? I'm all into this. This is fucking brilliant.
Well, Top Gun, like we said in the last episode, has a real air of, fuck yeah to it the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, it's if Team America was played kind of seriously, but also fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
And to me, and this is going to make me sound like such a Debbie Downer, the problem I have with a lot of the action shots in this film, in the first film, it was very clearly all real fighter jets, real fighter pilots doing the stunts.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Because the CGI wasn't there to make it fake and to just conjure these images up. But in this, it felt like I would say maybe 40 to 60% ratio, 40 real, 60 fake. And it just didn't have the same weight to me. It didn't feel like Top Gun. It felt like Tom Cruise sat in a box going, wee.
So, yeah, there was a lot of real flying in it.
There was. I mean, 90% of the film is flying.
And I think Tom Cruise is quite famously into doing a lot of his own stunts.
Yes.
I don't think he did many of these ones.
No, definitely not. He rode the motorbikes. He was on a motorbike a lot.
Yeah.
Also, it was really fucking weird that they brought Val Kilmer back for this movie and then put him on a glorified speak and spell and then killed him immediately. It was a really weird decision.
It was. Val Kilmer has had so much plastic surgery as
Oh,
well.
he looks like a balloon.
It's really strange. But I like the callbacks. I thought the member berries were really in full force. I loved when they did Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was fun.
really fun. I thought the whole bar scene was excellent. I thought the bit with the boat, it wasn't a member berry, but I thought the scene with the boat where she taught him how to sail was quite fun. I thought all the flying was really good. But one thing I didn't like about this was, the POV shots where they're flying really low
Yeah.
made me feel seasick.
Oh, really? You got
Made
motion
me
sickness
feel
from it? Or?
really sick. Yeah. I don't know why. It was particularly the one, where he's going up and being a maverick, and he goes, I can do this 4-minute course in 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And he just goes out by himself and they all watch him on a radar like, oh my God, I didn't expect a guy called Maverick to be an actual maverick.
Yeah.
That scene itself, I had to turn away at points because it really made me think I was going to be sick.
On the note of the nicknames, by the way,
Yeah.
they are 90% incredibly dumb in this movie. Not to the point of the uglies nicknames, but just being called Rooster because my dad was called Goose, and Bob
like that.
because it stood for baby on board for some reason, and they never elaborate.
It didn't. His name was Bob. His name was Robert. He didn't want a call sign, but the guy was trying to get a rise out of him by saying, why are you called Bob? Is it baby on board?
Yeah.
So he wasn't actually called baby on board. And then Hangman, because he always leaves you out to dry.
Yeah, and
that's a nickname you want.
It also, I think it was really interesting that the film set it up right at the beginning, being like, you have a team of 6. Here is a team of 12. You're going to make half of them useless. Like, that was a really interesting decision as well.
I don't know. I think you're probably being a bit harsh on this film.
I probably am.
It was fun.
Like,
it was
for full transparency,
fun.
I had fun. I gave this film a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. I had a good time with it, but it's dumb.
Well, I'd give it 2.5 blokes out of Blighty.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'd say if you want some good, dumb fun, Top Gun Maverick, you can't go wrong. No. I actually don't think you need to watch the first film either.
I definitely prefer the first film.
I do too, but loads of people I know that I spoke to about this film had never seen the original Top Gun, but had seen this and said they had a really good time still.
Yeah, it's still a fun time.
Yeah, good film. Tim, what are we watching next week?
I am so excited for this movie, and I'm excited to get your opinion on this movie.
Right.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
This was released 2023, right?
It 2023 or 2022, one of the two. But Payne and I have seen this in cinemas when it was out, and we had a great time as people who have played D&D. And as someone who is getting into a D&D-esque thing, I'm curious about your perception to this film, because to me, the film is very accessible for non-D&D fans as well. And I want to know what you think of it when you get around to watching it.
Okay. Does anyone roll a nat 20?
There's a lot of dice rolling jokes.
Okay, cool. Is there a lot of loot in that body?
There probably is.
Okay. Well, I'll watch it, see what we think. Could be fun. Hope for a good time. Tim, we're going to get out of here. Which member of the pod pack do you want to shout out?
Oh, I'm going to shout out. I don't know why I opened Notion. I want Discord. Podpack. I am going to go with Luke from the Nostalgic Pod.
Nice. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to all of the other members of the Podpack Collective. Shout out to our lovely friends at Talking Smack. Casting Views, of course, Chat Tsunami, Seismic Cinema, 2 Girls, 1 Reusable Cup, Toast, the streamer, all of these wonderful people. You should go and listen to them. They're all fantastic.
Certifiable Rat Gang members.
Excellent Rat Gang members. Check us out on Twitch. That's www.twitch.tv/GameClubPod. Find us on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, all under the name Game Club Pod. And we'll see you in a week's time. Tim, what is your message for our lovely listening audience?
Take that, you bastards.
Hey, you bastards. We'll see you in 7 days.
Me.
Bye. Hello, this is Joe from Two Blokes from Blighty. We're going to do something a little bit different to start this time. Tim, what the faces were so
just
put off.
being weird.
Going to do it again. Hello, this is Joe from Two Blokes from Blighty. We're going to do a little bit of something. Oh, God.
Believe in
Hello,
you.
this is. For fuck's sake. I know what's going on at the end of the episode.